YouTube, it's Brian Phillips. Look at this. We've got the Cherokee, Piper Cherokee. 1.5, I believe. Beautiful lights. We have only done this plane one time, which we realized, oh my goodness, we only did it one time and it's in stock. And
Yes.
NX8, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it up in the air and fly it around. We got a 3200 3S in there, take off flaps, excuse me, throttle cuts off. Quick control surface test. It's been in the hangar for a while. This is one of my favorite planes, and it's one that's very underserved by yours truly. And happy Mother's Day to the camera crew.
Thanks.
We couldn't do it without you, literally. And all of you guys watching said amen. That's about full 50% throttle. Getting up there. Now remember guys, it's on 3S. Oh, look at that.
The lights look so good.
Absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Take off flaps now. Man, it looks so realistic. A little bit of rudder. I was getting nervous I might run into the trees there. Okay, here we go. Camera crew, you good there? Mm-hmm. Okay, let's go about 4 steps and try that again. Look at how tight that turn is, folks. I'm in the takeoff flaps, just so you know. Are we good? We're good for clearance. Guys, this plane is like rock solid. A lot of up elevator on that turn. It's an unusual configuration for me. I love flying this plane low and slow. And even on 3S, it does just fine. But I can tell you right now, I feel like I'm riding the elevator a lot. I think it's because I put my battery a little bit too far back. A little janky there. Oh, I figured out what I'm doing wrong. I got my expo in the high setting. So there's like hardly any expo and I'm used to a little bit more.
Oh.
I was like, why did that roll seem so weird and sticky? Look at this, guys. Oh, that looks so good with the backdrop. I'm loving it. Gotta watch out for that one tall tree there. We're gonna go on the inside, you good? Nice coordinated turn here. Guys, those turns are just glorious. Absolutely glorious. Lots of coordination here. I'm kind of doing a sweep on the elevator as I go through that turn sequence. I don't know if you guys can see that thing there. There is a bug zapper on the inside. Gotta love it, guys. Gotta love it. Okay, out of the flaps, let's go in the middle of the... Just so you can see, it can happen even on 3S. Okay, full throttle. We'll do a little bit of speed flying. We gotta get where we're going here, guys. Gotta get where we're going. Nice smooth roll, no jank involved. And then up, everybody spilled their coffee. We're going about +3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Gs. There we go, pulling out. But don't worry, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it to LAX on time. So everybody can go to their filming event. Okay, we're going full landing flaps. Let's watch this thing really slow down. Watch this, going downhill, scaring the crap out of everybody. We're all gonna die. Take off flaps now. Lots of rudder in the turn, a little bit of elevator pressure to keep it level. Let's try touch and go if we can get it. Got into that ground effect I didn't think I was gonna. I'm with the wind there. Okay, out of the takeoff flaps, into the throttle hard. We're gonna double back and do an opposite approach. Love the lights as they all get bright. Nice fast pass there. way out there, not hardly a pass. Just happened to be flying. Super realistic looking. Okay, into the takeoff flaps, nice relax. Relaxing the throttle from about 75, 80, 90, now 50, now 30. Into the flare, into the ground effect. Just gotta watch out for the tall grass that I haven't cut. And you guys can't see that there either. Right behind that hay pile of garbage, there is a trailer that has a ramp and it sticks up, and I'm always nervous I'm gonna hit full landing flaps as I hit ground effect. Look at that, guys. That's good. Into the throttle kind of hard so I can miss the tall grass. I didn't want to have to yaw over it to get straightened out because it was fine where I was going. And around the eagle killing zone. We have 15 eagle killing zone. I feel like I need to trim just a little bit. 20, 30, 40, 50% throttle. A little bit of trim on the yaw axis. So it's kind of favoring. Okay, we need a little bit of trim there. Okay, we'll come back and do it again. I want to trim in the same position spatially. And full landing flaps here. Okay, now we'll slow it down. Okay, we got our timer kind of warning us. Okay, just trying to get it straight down the path. Oh yeah, we need a little bit of yaw. There we go. Look at that, perfect. No, maybe a couple clicks back, I might have overshot. Perfectamundo, okay, out of the flaps. Now, if you guys are watching this and you're thinking, boy, that plane's kind of lame, as in it's not doing crazy stuff. Well, that's because it's a Piper Cherokee. Yes, it'll do the crazy stuff if you want, but it's like, who does this in a Piper Cherokee? Unless they're on like some sort of a weird suicide mission, you know? It's like, you just don't see people doing that in Cherokees for reasons that are, it would be kind of like a good way to lose your license if you're a private pilot, which is the type of person that would be flying something like this. Now, that being said, you can still cornhole the thing. It doesn't like it, but you can do it. You can still fly upside down. You can still have a good old time. We'll just go around here. Look at this, plenty of elevator left to cornhole out of it. And then down the chute. Here we go. High speed pass. Looks sweet, but there again, we're on 3S, guys. This will do 4S. So if you really wanted to kind of fly with the best of them in a non-scale manner, you can abso-positively do it. There we go. Need to take off flaps on that turn for a nice tight one. And then back down, nice triangular loop. And then full landing flaps to get out of that roll. We're gonna go real slow and explore the tolerances of the turns around our flagpole, our new flagpole. Let's go right here. So we're gonna double back into the takeoff flaps now. Guys, I use flaps a lot. I don't know if you guys have figured that out from listening to me call out my flights. But the truth is, I'm gonna try to go right under the flag, okay? Right under it, yep, right under it. Kind of maybe missed it by a couple inches there, but. I love flying this plane, guys. One of my favorite, best flying planes. The difference that I can tell you between this and the T-28 is that the T-28 looks good doing it fast. It doesn't look fake. It looks like, oh yeah.
It should do that.
Yeah, exactly. Now, you could fly a Cherokee fast, but it wouldn't be that fast. Because, I don't know, maybe 250 miles an hour. I don't know, like on a crazy day. I don't know how fast the Cherokee goes. I honestly am not sure. Ooh, geese. They want to battle. Where are they?
I don't know, I can hear them.
Yeah, I don't know. Are they up in the clouds?
They might be in the field.
Oh, there they are. Let's go visit. And they went away from us. Gosh, they're so obnoxious.
They are.
Love being able to see the lights. So take off flaps on now. I'm just gonna carry on. See, you got a nice, beautiful backdrop. And we'll just kind of do a little touch and go-ish thing there. We're in ground effect. It's kind of hard to get the thing to go to the ground. Let's try touch and go for real this time. A little bit of slip there, a little bit of contrary rudder. Beautiful, beautiful, guys. So some of you guys are wondering, is this a good beginner plane? It could be. I mean, I guess I'd probably rather have you get into something like Aero Scout, Apprentice style. This one's more beautiful, and to be honest with you, it's a really robust gear setup. But the thing is, if you're not nice to it, you're gonna kill your nose gear. People have complained about the nose gears on this thing for a while, and it's a complex system because it's got a real spring-loaded oleo. So as a result, people that are new pilots tend to break things like that. And so really, my impression would be, you'd be better off to get into something that's like really got a nice foam, fixed, you know, simulated oleo if you're gonna get something, rather than something that's gonna break. Because the oleo on this actually really does help. I mean, it's almost called for, just the way the nose slams down. I don't know if you guys can tell it, but I was riding the nose on that takeoff. I did that on purpose, and if you throw your landing flaps on while you're taking off with this plane, you can kick the nose into the ground, like as you're speeding up. So it comes off of the mains and goes straight into the nose. Okay, I'm gonna try to kick in a landing here. I couldn't slip because of my angle. Okay, we'll try doing a nice slow approach from the other direction, easier to see too. We'll keep it nice and low. Okay, full landing flaps now. A little bit more throttle and a little bit of slip. See how it's slipping? The tail's coming toward us. There you go. See what I'm talking about? Like you kind of almost always three-wheel land this plane. And so the reason that I'm not crazy about this for a beginner is that it is like really pretty easy to land. And I just feel like you might expect every plane to be easy like that. So there's nothing wrong with starting easy, I guess. And it does have safe select. I don't ever really turn it on. So I don't really fly with it much because I don't like limiting my bank angles. But look how slow I'm doing this. This is with takeoff flaps, guys. And then margins, you know, I had somebody asking me the other day about this. You know, you need to talk about margins or something about speed and beginners and all this. And I was like, what are you talking about? I didn't really understand his concern, but I think he was saying something to the effect that like you make it look too easy, I think is what he was getting at. And I couldn't get him to say it in those words, but the truth is, flying this plane is relatively easy for me, and everybody is on a spectrum of how easy or hard it is to fly. Like yesterday, my wife was flying a new helicopter, and it was amazing. And she was flying it legit from start to finish. I mean, all of it. It was incredible. But then everybody's flying on a spectrum. See, I just about janked it into the mud. I just didn't want to go chasing the mud. See, that's one thing that's nice about this plane on 4S is it's got way more power to get out of the hole when you make a mistake. Usually the mistakes I make with this are an imperfect landing, but an imperfect landing that's still shoot. With some planes, it would be a perfect landing. I'm just trying to make it look super realistic in light turbulence. And if you guys can tell right now, the windsock just pulled away from us, which means the wind changed direction just a little bit. Now it's at our back, so I can land this way. And see, that's the one thing you'll learn as you, expand your skills as an RC pilot, is that you're always learning. You're always learning. So like there, I was trying to keep the nose off the ground, and I think I accomplished my goal. But I mean, this plane is just gonna make you look good because it flies really good. And there's nothing wrong with that. But just remember, even a good flying plane, if you get a tailwind, when you're on final and you're low and slow in ground effect, not impossible that you could have problems. And by the way, it's starting to rain, and I don't want to have problems with my transmitter. We just got my stupid scrolly wheel thing figured out. So let's go ahead and land it here. There we go, guys. Okay, so we'll just kind of set it in the grass so I don't have to chase it. So 8 minutes and 12 plus 6. So that's a pretty good flight time. I have 14-minute flight time. And telemetry shows Oh shoot, this one doesn't have that telemetry. This one's an AR-631.
Oh.
So there's no reverse thrust on it. But either way, it's just, this plane is great. I love flying it. I love the looks of it. And I feel like whatever rain was there stopped.
I don't know. It kind of is coming and going.
Well, let's fly for a little longer.
Okay.
So I want to keep flying because I want to give them a representation of the time. So we're at 14 minutes, let's call it, okay? That's 50% throttle. Oh, by the way, 3,200. (3,200) 3S is what we're on. That's a long flight time. So one trick of the day, I can tell you, is when you're flying to the limits and you're not sure when your battery's gonna run out, here's a trick. Run your throttle in a burst. Is there a lag? Now get off the throttle, fly around, get into a pattern, get on it hard. Is there a lag? Out of the throttle. Don't kill your ESC, don't kill your battery. Into the throttle. Are you able to see that pretty good? With that blue cloud cover?
Yeah. The lights are great.
Yeah, they help a lot. That blue is great. It looks so good up against it. It's so realistic. See how turbulent it is up there now? Feels like it's dead calm, but it's totally not. So the reason I'm in a holding pattern up here is because I'm trying to kind of split hairs on running out of fuel, AKA battery. We're gonna encourage it to run out of battery. Oh, that's so cool. The vibration you hear is amplification of any sort of asymmetry in that prop. And that would be through the canopy, which is rather large. Hey, hon, do you happen to remember if that T28 is still in stock?
The 1.2?
Yeah, the new one, the re-release V2.
I believe it was as of a couple days ago.
Okay. We've been trying not to put out videos when stuff is out of stock because we feel like really bad wetting your whistles about a plane that just immediately goes out of stock. We were doing an FMS review the other day and they had us review this plane and they had us do it right when it was freaking out of stock. And I'm like, what are you thinking, morons? I was pissed.
It was in stock and then they told us to release it and it went out like the next day.
Yeah, we were like, are you kidding me?
Doing that to you guys.
And yeah, we just feel like that's like a low blow.
Yeah.
You don't do that to another fellow enthusiast. You know, like I don't even understand what the rationale was because of course they want to sell stuff and we would like to sell stuff too. But the thing is like, we love these planes. And it's like, that's what we've been trying really hard to help with that in that regard as much as we can. And the only time we really work with these guys on release dates is when they're like early releases usually. That's kind of one of our deals that we have with some of the brands. I mean, we can't tell you all the different ins and outs because that's sort of not allowed. But the thing is, one of the deals is when we have an early release, we have a do not release before a certain time. And so of course we want to try to have our footage up and ready and everything because people are going to be all excited about it and they're going to hear about it some way. I can't believe how long this thing is still going. It's like nuts. I don't remember it being this long last time. And I've markedly beaten on it the last 3.5, 4 minutes.
Whoa.
Did you?
I didn't know you were gonna get that close to the ground.
And when I say 3.5, 4 minutes, I mean 1 minute and 56 seconds. Oh, maybe I'm over. Am I over? No, I'm counting down still. So that's a 6-minute timer. So if it's, yeah, about 4 minutes. 1 minute 43 left right now.
Was it terrible weather when we flew this the last time?
I think it was beautiful weather.
Really?
Absolutely gorgeous sunset. There we go. Okay, out of the throttle, getting into a final, 20% throttle. Okay, camera crew, let's about 10 steps back, just in case. Okay, now I'm married to my landing approach now. Okay, full landing flaps. I'm gonna just actually loiter. Nah, see, I'm in a bad angle, bad vector. Here we go. So I'm gonna go up here, I'm gonna get out of my flaps, get a little airspeed, back into my takeoff flaps. I'm gonna keep it flat, real flat. Saving my power. Full landing flaps, force the nose. Oh, you son of a biscuit lover. Okay, guys. Oh, the winds at our back just now too. The reason that happened was because I literally did use up the battery, and we are at, let's just call it 40 when I like stopped rolling. So that would be 5 minutes, 20 seconds. Yeah, 5 minutes, 20 seconds. So let's just call it 5 plus 19
14
minutes.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? So almost 20 minutes, because if you add the rounding error.
Yeah.
So almost 20 minutes on a 3200 3S, that's incredible.
And if you were flying like scale the whole time, you would easily get 20 minutes.
Yeah, 20 minutes is a long time.
Yeah.
Some of you guys that are just transferring over from, you know, crystal equipped airplanes that you had from the 80s and 70s and things like that, and you're just, you know, you pull them out of the basement once every 10 years or whatever, and you might clean them off and stand with them between, you know, the tail between your legs and run the throttle up, and you're all excited and you're like, yeah, let's put it back in the basement. You know, this would be a perfect plane because it flies so good. You're gonna be like, wow, I just thought they were crappy foam things. No, these planes are great. You're gonna get them and you're gonna think, okay, now that it's out of the box, I'm thinking that looks better than I thought it would, A, and when you get up close. And then 2, B, you're gonna put a battery and you're gonna be like, how can this be all I have to do? It's just too easy. I don't have the little starty tool. I don't have my little wooden box that looks like a milk jug holder with like 400 things in it that I have to drag out with my little lead acid battery that I took out of my moped that I actually share with my moped so I can run the little starty thing instead of chopping your finger off. So you guys know who I'm talking.
So many things.
The camera crew has no clue what I'm talking
no
about.
idea.
But the people that are watching this channel know exactly what I'm talking about because you've all seen them. And you've got your little fuel thing, you've got your SIG, you know, it looks like a jug of milk that's red. Doesn't smell like milk, obviously. And all these things. You drag all this crap out and you get one flight and you're like, you know, that was a good 20 minutes. I'm gonna go home now. Great. Same exact experience. You can charge those batteries, have 4 of them sitting in your cup holder. You can go down to the local flying site and you can sit there and fly that thing for like an hour. That's so easy. You're not used to that level of easy. And then now with, you know, technology like, you know, obviously the NX8 or NX10, if you need some more channels, which you might want to think about. There's, you know, people that are using NX10 so you can do AS3X and safe. This plane has safe. It's a bind and fly. You can get it with everything ready to rock and roll. We have a video that shows you exactly how to set it up. We call that our unbox build and radio setup. So if you go to the playlist of this plane, or if you go to brianphillipsrc.com, www.brianphillipsrc.com, not to be confused with where you are now, which is www.youtube.com/brianphillipsrc, okay? You can go there and you can get back there. You can go from there back to here. It doesn't matter. I don't care where you start, as long as you end up watching the video that you're wanting to find, and that's gonna help you make a good decision with your RC dollar and your RC budget, or maybe just a decision to kind of encourage you to get back into flying, or a decision to start flying from scratch. You know, if you're maybe you're a middle-aged guy and you've got lots of real responsibilities, you got a family, you got a job that's demanding, and you just need something that will completely take your focus for like a few minutes a week, okay? Like half an hour to an hour, a couple hours is all you've got. You can do this. But if you want to get good quick, you're going to have to spend a little bit more time at the beginning so you can get to learn how to fly. Safe makes that possible. Same thing, 1970s eaglet from SIG that you just rolled out with your little, you know, milk jug holder thing with your fuel and your starter from your moped. You come out here, you got all that crap and you're like, man, it's a pain. It's a lot of work. I just want something easy so I can get up in the air because I love flying. I just don't want all the hassle. I don't want to have to clean everything after the oil gets all over it and the nitro stinks up the field and it's loud and people are complaining. And I'm like, I just don't want to deal with all that hassle. Now you don't have to. So seriously, and I'm not saying you can't do that still. I mean, that's still totally a thing, and you can totally do that. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. I'm not trying to poo-poo any of it. But the idea is, when you come to Brian Phillips RC, what we want to do is we want to encourage you in the continuance within the hobby. We want to help you not get blown out of the hobby on your first plane, which is why we're so reluctant to suggest a given plane as a first plane. Because there's really some great choices, and you're going to destroy your first plane. I don't care how good you are. Your first plane is going to look like turds after about 2 weeks of flying it. I guarantee it. So don't buy the most beautiful plane you can think of. No. It's going to look like turds. I mean, unless you want to just replace it, which is totally fine. These things are cheap enough that you can fly them for a couple of years and you'll feel comfortable spending that money again to replace it. I know from experience, we've done it. So that all being said, a lot of things to consider. We're here to kind of wrap this up and tie a knot and answer all your concerns and take you from excuse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 and just turn it into like one excuse, which is, what are you doing? Just get on to the description below, get in the video description below, click the link, go buy the plane and live it. It's just amazing. It's a cool experience. And it's not something that you can pay, you know, flying radio controlled airplanes. It's not a skill you can buy. So if you're new to it and you need help getting started, we have all sorts of beginner planes. Just ask in the comments below. I reply like 100 times. I have like a basic thing I reply with. It says which planes that I recommend, and they're all great. This would not be a terrible first plane, but I mean, you could probably do better for a first time, in my opinion. This would be a great second plane, no problem. It'd be a good first plane, really. But I feel like you could do better. There's some that are a little bit more, how do I put it, open-ended. You know, you can come from no skill and have a better chance at success.
Yeah.
This will not make you a one and done, which is one of our primary focuses here on the channel. Stop people from getting, you know, like a 6S 80 millimeter F-16 that you're gonna crash and you're gonna be like, oh goodness gracious, I'm gonna be divorced when I get home because I just spent like 900 bucks.
Yeah. Crashed
and it's gone. Spend 900 bucks, but don't do it now. Do it like on your 7th or 8th plane when you're like seriously getting good. And by the way, it doesn't take that long to get good. You're talking a couple years of flight experience and you will love every second of it. You're not gonna be like, oh man, it's just not that cool as that F-16 going by. Yeah, of course. I mean, the F-16 going by is really cool. Don't get me wrong, but I still love doing this. It's totally up to me what we filmed today, and that's what we filmed.
Yep.
I got an F-16 sitting in the basement. Guess what? Sitting in the basement.
And
that's what we flew today.
You like flying beginner planes.
All of them.
All the time.
They're fun. They're great fun. And it's a different experience. You come out here, it's lazy. You know, you just come out and just enjoy and relax and fly around, and you know, you make a 1 millisecond mistake and it doesn't end in tears. Whereas with the F-16, probably not the F-16 1 millisecond, but you make 2 or 3 of those mistakes, you're gonna be talking about a $700-800 crash. So nowadays, you crash, you can buy replacement parts for everything. Used to be like surgery and, you know, go cut that tree down and winnow it down into little balsa wood sticks. Go out in the back and melt all the plastic and make some film so you can cover it.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's a few years back. But anyway, the whole point is we want you guys to go from wherever you are right now. We have to guess because, you know, we don't know exactly who our audience is going to be, and it's broad, white audience. We have guys that are in their 70s, 80 years old watching this channel that just love it. And we got teenage kids that are watching this stuff, and everybody in between, women, men, everybody, all sorts of backgrounds. It's really cool to have such a great following. But how could you not with such a wholesome, wonderful, exciting, fulfilling, affordable, as you want to make it, hobby. And a hobby that you can bring your whole family in. You can do it with confidence that you're not going to be, you know, putting your family members in harm's way, or that you're going to be starting them on a bad path that they can't follow. Get your kids into RC if you want them to not use drugs. They won't ever have money for it, okay? There's a lot of really good things that come from this. I mean, what are the other hobbies that you can have an 80-year-old guy and a 15-year-old granddaughter going and flying together? Not very many. I mean, sure, they can go watch a soccer game or something like that, but that's the extent of it. I mean, you're actually actively doing this stuff together. It's really cool. So it's intergenerational, you know, interfaith, interracial, whatever you want to call it. All the different things within our world that divide us, we can all come together about RC airplanes, which is really cool. Or helicopters or whatever, you know, e-bikes. or leaf blowers. Whatever we happen to be showing that day. But the idea is this plane's awesome. If you want to get one, definitely check it out in the link below. You'll be helping to support our channel with the gifts that come from them to us. Doesn't cost you a penny extra, but they pay us small commissions when we sell these things, and hopefully we made it look just good enough that you were like, you know what, I was on the fence, but now I'm not on the fence, I'm gonna go buy it. And that's why they give us the commissions. So they know they've got a good product and they probably don't need us, but shh, let's keep that between us because we love doing this and it does really help to fund our channel. And without it, we probably couldn't be doing near as much as we'd like. And I'd like to do this full time, but we're not quite there.
You're supporting our family. I mean,
it is legit.
Yeah.
So, and we have 4 kids and then of course our wonderful camera crew. So, she's gonna be mad. Happy Mother's Day. Thanks. Everybody thinks this is Megan, the camera crew. Everybody always gives me trouble because she isn't on camera. Like, I won't let her on camera. She doesn't want to be on camera. She wants to be behind the camera.
I'm good over here.
And by the way, best camera crew on YouTube, at least YouTube, right? Are we supposed to say in the world?
I'm pretty sure that is not accurate. It's probably not that.
She is pretty good at following these planes. It's harder than it looks. So we appreciate you, camera crew.
Yes,
thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, anything I haven't said? Do I need any other?
All your bases.
Yeah, I think I've covered all my bases. So in closing, guys, thanks for being here. If you absolutely hate this plane, I don't know. I mean, we can still be friends, but still, I don't understand. Or maybe you've got 4 of them already. In that case, we have Patreon and PayPal down below if you don't want to buy this plane, if you don't want to buy the battery, if you don't want to buy the transmitter, if you don't want to buy any of the other hundreds of items that we have listed so that it's easy for you to find them. We also have Brian Phillips RC, which is a labor of love for yours truly over here, camera crew. Mm-hmm. She's been working like crazy trying to get that thing done. And yes, we have seen a little bit more traffic from you guys as you've heard about it and started to respond. Really all it is just a place for you to go so that you can find, that thing was a large flying creature. Yeah, it sounded like a bird. It's just a place where you can find stuff easier because we know hopefully. YouTube only allows you to search. I think it's a pretty good search engine, but when you're a creator, you are like living on YouTube.
Yeah.
So for you guys that are out there just like once in a while popping on there, looking at recommendations that come up in your feed, all you have to do is go to Brian Phillips RC, click on the picture of me without a beard and with headphones on, and then there'll be a search bar, and you can search just our channel if you're looking for something. You can also go to playlists. Playlists are the best way to search our channel because we organize everything by playlist. If it's not in a playlist and it was a one-off, it's usually got a playlist also, okay? So when you search the playlist, you'll be able to search by title of the aircraft, sometimes by size, and then sometimes by name. So the easiest way to do it would be to just type as much of it as you have, but we're trying to make that even easier now by having the brianphillipsrc.com, which will link you back so you can find what you need to find. And you can also buy the stuff there too. You can just follow the link. It'll take you the same exact thing. It's just organized better. And
the other thing is if there's a new release or something that's out or something that we just haven't reviewed.
Because we haven't gotten it yet.
In the video description at the top, we call them master links that you can click on and go to Horizon or whoever we work with. Just as if you were following the link for that plane.
And we're not allowed to say that on new releases in certain conditions. There was a few different times where there was huge releases that they'd been working on for years. And I can't say anymore because I'm gonna get myself in trouble. But anyway, there was some side deals that happened that helped to facilitate that, which was totally a good deal for everybody, especially for you guys as the consumers. For us as consumers, it was a very good deal because the world got something that we shouldn't have gotten, and we got it for basically nothing, which is amazing. So anyway, sometimes we can't say that, but it's always available. You can always follow the link and just go and find it. Like if you have a question you ask me and it somehow gets lost in translation and I don't see it for like 7 or 8 days, which doesn't happen that often anymore, which is usually pretty quick, then you can always just go to the master links. And it's right at the top of the page. It'll be like Patreon and, you know, like Brian Phillips RC, and then it'll be like Horizon, Tower Hobby, you know, whatever it is in the list, because we work with a bunch of other vendors too. And we try not to like, you know, stomp all over our other vendors. You know, because when we're doing a video for Horizon, you know, they're not going to want us to sit here and talk about Banggood. And when we're doing a Banggood, we don't sit here and totally smash them and talk about Horizon. And then, you know, we're trying to be sensitive to these people. They're people that have jobs, they have livings they're trying to make, but we're trying to be sensitive to them without undermining our ability to bring you the full truth about every model, because that's what we do. And we tell them that, by the way, when we start working with them. But we would like to work with a few other vendors that have been very persistently saying no for a long time. And it's very frustrating because really we feel like you guys deserve to have the whole spectrum and not just like part of the spectrum. Haha, spectrum. So, only a dad joke would be pointed out on Brian Phillips RC. So anyway, guys, we appreciate you as always. We have touched on almost all the bases. Happy Mother's Day, if we didn't say it already twice. We appreciate you being here. And happy Mother's Day 2023.
Yeah,
I should say that because it's 2022, and by the time you get this video, it might be like 3 weeks from now.
Yeah.
So anyway, and if you have questions, leave them in the comments below. We'll do our best to answer them as quick as we can. But just bearing in mind, we don't offer any special treatment or special, what is that word they use? Value to Patreons. But the Patreons do kind of like get in our ear quicker, because the way the notifications are set up, that is one thing that is not a value for you, because I don't want you to have to pay VAT, value added tax, for those in Europe. And I don't want you guys to have to pay special income tax in other parts of the world.
So
it's just foolishness.
There's no listed benefits.
There's no benefits
right now for Patreon.
Just saying, no benefits, none at all. Except for, you know, I might trip and accidentally hear your comments first in line. Just saying. So, anything else you want to do? Should we like scroll the credits?
Yeah.
We're not going to do that.
Brian, Megan, the end. There, you got those are the credits.
No, we're not scrolling the credits with the Patreons.
No.
So, guys, if you wanna see your name in the credits, put it in the comments below and I'll pin it. Stay tuned. So much more. I'm Brian Phillips RC. Hey guys, it's dead. Look. That's full throttle.